Hi there. I'm just going to explain and start off by saying this is the jigsaw I picked, which is called Down at the Allotment by Fiona Osbaldstone, and it's in 1,000 piece. It's a Falcon Deluxe. Now, I've emptied the bag. It's not an actual proper factory seal bag. It's just a Ziploc. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate the edges from the middles. So these are the size pieces compared to my hand. If you can see that. Hang on. Size of my hand. And then you've got, these are your edge pieces. That's a bit of sky for you. I'm going to separate off the edges from the middle sections. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get 2 food storage bags. And then I'm going to put the edges in one and the middles in another. So this jigsaw is ready to go. I am actually going to say I don't do 1,000 piece normally, but I have a few that I quite liked that I could only get in 1,000 piece, no smaller. These are extra large pieces. These are bigger pieces. I don't know if they're extra large, but they're bigger. But I do have extra large jigsaws. I have the Teddy Bears Picnic 500 piece. I don't want to get them muddled up, but this is in a... These are all your edge pieces. And these are all your centre pieces. I do have the completed picture on my screenshot on my phone, but a completed jigsaw of that one I do have. So I would probably have to show you somehow with a different connecting it to the video somehow, but I don't know. I'm just going to do this, and then if you want to check it out, different jigsaws, I usually go Amazon or eBay, but mainly eBay. I need to find a place that I can do sorting out for if I don't want a jigsaw, who can I give it to, because at the moment I generally just don't buy them if I don't want them. If I don't want them after a while and I feel as though they're not for me, I generally like to put them on eBay to sell them off as a way of doing it. But because I don't generally want to deal with the packaging and the not getting there in one piece and lots of different post problems, I generally just want to not do that anymore. So I'm thinking there might be a way, like if I can put it on like Helping Hands or like a Facebook group basically, which is Helping Hands, just on any sort of app that's able for someone to pick it up if they want it. But I've never known, I've known it to be sat there for months and months before someone does that. So I'm not really in the place to just store it somewhere for when the right person comes along. It's just not something I'm willing to do. So I just don't. I just try and avoid jigsaws I'm not going to do. And I really look at the picture to see if it's something I might be able to do. But I've done jigsaws long enough now to know which ones are more suitable for me and to be able to complete them. And generally the ones that I'm looking at the moment are 500 piece jigsaw puzzles. I'm very rarely looking at 1,000 unless it's something I'm really looking for, and I only really have a limited space to do them, so I don't really want to take up a big space. And 1,000 piece jigsaws do take up quite a bit of room. on a table, so I generally avoid them. I mean, you need a proper puzzle storage bag to do it in, whereas normally I just use a table. And 1,000-piece jigsaws definitely don't do that. They don't store just on any table. They're a bit bigger. I mean, the one I'm doing right now to sort, it's 68 by 49 centimetres. So just to give you an understanding of what that looks like. That's only half the tape measure, but hang on. That is the base of the bottom. And then 48, that's across. So you're talking this much from my hand up from, I want to say, there. So basically that much length that way. So this is that way, and then where my finger is, it's upwards. So you can get an idea of just how big that one is. Not going to be very little. It's going to probably be around about, in foot, that's 2'3", and that's for that way. And then you're 1'7" for this way. Just to give you an idea. So that's going to be a bit tricky to put on just any surface. It doesn't seem that way, but a 500-piece jigsaw is damn sight smaller and more practical for my space right now. Not saying I want to change my space I've got, because I really don't want to do that. I don't want to change my space, but I just want to sort out these puzzle pieces. I don't know if you can get an idea, but that's kind of what you're dealing with. I don't want to flick it around too much in case something flies somewhere. And the last thing we need is to lose a puzzle piece anywhere, because I absolutely can't stand it and hate jigsaw puzzles that are with a piece missing. I've had that before and it really got on my nerves, because it feels like, why'd you do the jigsaw puzzle in the first place? Just to find out when you've completed it that there's a piece missing. So if I find that, I generally just get a piece of cardboard, cut it to the shape of the piece that you need, and then I usually paint the piece to what it should look like or near as damn it, so that it goes into the jigsaw puzzle and somewhat forms a picture. Otherwise, if you've got one piece missing, the picture doesn't make sense. And it's challenging to get the piece. The jigsaw is like a work of art. And to me, you can only see the person's work of art if it's all there. And I generally can only assume that some people have different ways of thinking about missing pieces, but I just don't generally like missing pieces. Not when it comes to puzzling. I generally just like to sort my puzzle pieces and then reorganise them. If anybody has any suggestions as to sorting puzzle pieces or doing it a different way and a place to store your different puzzle pieces, lay them out. Because 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzles to me just look really overwhelming. There's just too many things to look at. Whereas, for example, I don't want to bore you with the sorting of this, so I'm going to do it my own time. But this is a 500-piece and this is an extra large, so this won't generally work with the explanation of this one, because they're extra large pieces. We need to look at something more manageable, that is something that's not an extra large piece, so you get an idea of what I mean by dealing with 1,000 pieces of this to dealing with 500 pieces, which looks something more like this. That's 500 a limited edition, and just to get your idea, that picture is where my finger is here. Pause if you want to see. But complete to that, which is 1,000, you can kind of see the difference in how many pieces you're working with. This is 1,000, this is 500. You can just generally see the difference in how many pieces are there to how overwhelming that's going to be for somebody. But that one I just showed you was... Pause to have a look at the bottom picture where my finger is. But yeah, they can be very difficult to focus on, 1,000 piece jigsaws. And you don't really want to put yourself into it if you're not really knowing. Because I get like starting 1,000 piece and I look at it and think, this is just too many pieces. This is overwhelming. But when it's an interesting image that you're really interested in, you're going to tend to want to finish it. The one that I'm looking at the moment, this allotment one, it's got people in it, and I look at the people and then look at the different things. I like a really interesting picture like this. To me, you've got a shed here which you can work on, and that can be a fixture in the picture. And then you've got over, I think it's over here, you've got a greenhouse. And then in the middle here, you've got a shed. And then you've got the plants at the bottom. So you've got different viewpoints that you can look straight directly down to. So that's how I generally do jigsaws. I fixate on the viewpoint and I look at the different bits, like the people and then like an object. I'll look at the sky and I'll get that, and I usually focus on that first. But I'll generally think with this one, I'd probably work with the bottom part here. So I'd work on this and try and get that lady and then work up. That's how I do it anyway. But yeah, I also use this for my measuring, which is, I got this from B&M, which is UK. And this, or Home Bargains does them. But this is a Rolson 5 metre measure tape. So measure tape. And I got this, and if you can see, it's got foot and meters on here. Pause if you want to look at that. But yeah, this is just a general DIY. It's an auto lock mechanism, 19mm blade, which is blades, that end part here to grab it onto surfaces. And it's a metal belt clip. So yeah, blade, belt clip. Imagine like a belt. But yeah, blade. But yeah. And when I was pointing to it before and saying the top part, I was meaning the plastic. I was pointing at this. The yellow part. So this is the blade. That is the belt. Might seem different to that, but the silver part I was saying before, that I was trying to explain, but I may have done that bit wrong. Apologise. But yeah, it's just how you do it. But it is different, yeah. Managing doing jigsaws is a difficult hobby to do sometimes. But yeah, if anybody wants to give us any hints, any tips, anything like that, feel free. But please do enjoy your jigsaws and keep puzzling. And on that note, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.